Hi guys, it's me. Believe it or not, it's been a really long time since I've done this. Um, I did a video. I think the last video I posted was for June, and I did a video for July, and I never posted it. And I haven't really done one since. But today's December 30th, 2018, the second to last day of 2018. So I thought I would come on and talk about, kind of do a wrap up of 2018, what I accomplished, what I did, and do some plans and some possibilities for 2019. Um, so here I am. Um, yeah, it's been a pretty good stitching year. I can't really complain about 2018. I didn't finish everything that I would have liked to have finished, but I did a lot, and I'm pretty happy. I have the lowest number of whips right now that I've had in, I can't even tell you when, at least 15 years. So I'm pretty happy with that. So let's start with um, what I finished this year. And I'm going to show you some of them. Some of them I've given away, and I might be able to show them on my cell phone. I don't know how well this is going to work. So you'll see some of them. You may not see all of them. Um, I Some of you might remember from back in the day at the beginning of the year when I had what I was calling the cleanup list, and they were just little projects that I had started, ornaments and different just little things, nails that I had started and I didn't finish. And I gathered them all together. I made a list, and I'm like, I'm going to finish all of these projects this year. And there were 9 of them. And uh, I finished all but one. So I was happy with that. So I'm going to try to do this in chronological order. The first thing that I finished in January was I finished the New York heart ornament from the Victorian sampler. And you might remember back in 2015, I bought this from where Victoria's Angel Stitch when I was in New York. So I finally finished that up in January. If I could find the California one without having to buy 5 other charts, or if I could find the kit, I would do the California one. I can never find the kit. Maybe I'll get it someday. I don't know. The leaflet isn't that expensive. And then the second thing I finished, we went from New York to Paris. And this is the Paris bookmark by Artiste for Hobby Lobby. I bought this at Hobby Lobby, and I finished this in February. My coworker, I showed a picture of this to my coworker, and my coworker's still bugging me because I haven't FFO'd it yet. And all you really got to do is glue it to a piece of felt, and I haven't done it. And so she's like, "Are you ever going to finish that?" So eventually I will. It's not that big of a priority. So there's my Paris bookmark. The next thing that I finished was in March, and this is Christmas Tree Welcome by Dimensions Daydreams. And I've talked several times over the years about how much I love the Dimensions Daydream series. I still have several of them that some of them may make it to my pile for next year. But there's my Christmas Tree Welcome, and it has a companion piece. I don't think they were intended to be companions, but they're the same size, they're the same shape, they're the same idea. There's Santa. I stitched this one back in 2008, and I stitched the Christmas tree this year. So I got Santa, sorry about the glare. You can see my lamp and the Christmas tree. And a smart aleck friend of mine, when I was stitching this in March, I finished this in March, and my smart aleck friend was like, Christmas was past already. I'm like, yes, I know. But a finished project is a finished project. I don't care if it's March and it's stitching Christmas. It's a finished project. And then in April, I think that I showed this when I finished it. I think I made a video for April. I don't know. Um, I had started this project back in 2013. My friend was getting married, and I thought, I'm going to stitch them something. And I found Vervico, one of Vervico's popcorn designs, Popcorn the Bear. And I thought, that's perfect. And I ordered it, and I started it, and I had problems with the thread. And I tried to contact Vervico and to get replacement or to get additional thread. It was the wrong color. I tried again. It was still the wrong color. And I got kind of frustrated, and I wasn't sure that he was going to care, that he was going to appreciate it. And I kind of put it away. And so this year, his husband passed away in April of this year. And that project's been kind of languishing because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. And I thought, I should resolve this. I should either finish it and give it to him, or I should finish it and do something else with it, or I should UFO it or something. I should resolve this project. Well, I ended up showing it to him. Not that I was going to give it to him, but I just said, hey, this is something that I'm working on. And he came to my desk the next day going, do you have that with you? And it was obvious that he wanted it. So I finished it. And it turns out I had enough thread to finish the important part, to finish the section that I was on so the color would match. And then I just used a similar thread to do the back stitch because it didn't matter as much. So if I can, and then I gave it to him at the end of April. And then in September, I was going to the framer. Let me see if I can pull this up on my phone. I was going to the framer, and he said, hey, as long as you're going to the framer, take this with you. And so he paid for it to be framed. So this is, oh, well, it doesn't come out perfect. That's okay. It's not wonderful. But this is Hugging by Vervico from the Popcorn the Bear series. You can you can barely see that there's two bears there. Oh, maybe that's better. I don't know. It's not great. But there's two bears there. And he paid to get it framed. So I finished that in April. And then in May I finished the other piece that I was taking to the framer. Let me pull that up on my phone too. This was a piece that I gave to my mother. I just gave it to her for Christmas, actually. This is the Ohio map that I finished in April. I finished it in May, and I gave it to my mother for Christmas. It's not a wonderful show on my phone, but and then in the summer, I didn't really stitch at home, like between June and August. So speaking of my phone, okay. Sorry. So during the summer, I didn't really stitch at home, and I didn't really finish anything. That's not true, actually. I finished in June. In June, I finished the bookshelf by Little House Needleworks. I started that in 2016. And that was probably, that and the Ohio map were the biggest things that I finished this year. Everything else was little. And then after that, I kind of burned out, and I didn't really stitch through July and August, except for the piece that I was working on at work. At home, I didn't really stitch at home. In September, I decided, let me pick this back up. So I looked at my lists, And I thought, let me, you know, which one of these appeals to me? And I pulled out Piglet, and I finished Piglet. And this is a set of 4. This is put out by Janlin. Actually, I think Janlin put out the kits. Janlin has kits for the individual ones. I know there's also a kit that has all 4 for Pooh, Piglet, Tigger, and Eeyore. And I know that there's also a leaflet that has all 4. And I think the leaflet and the kit with all 4 might be put out by Leisure Arts. But I know that Janlin puts out the individual kits. And so I've done Pooh and I've done Piglet. And hopefully in 2019 I'll get to Tigger and Eeyore and have the whole set. So I finished this in September. September was a fantastic month. I think I finished 4 projects in September. I finished, maybe it was October, but I finished Piglet. And then I picked up the Millhouse Squirrel. He's a cute little guy. This is the one I consider a half FFO because I cut him out, but he doesn't really have an identity. He's got nothing on the back. He's not a pin. He's not a magnet. He's not an ornament. He doesn't really have an identity. I don't know what I'm going to make him into. But he's cute, and there he is. And then last year, 2017, I had that same kind of slump during the summer, and then in the fall, I started trying to pick up fall pieces, Halloween pieces, and this is one of the ones that I picked up. This was the next thing I finished. And this is from, can you really see it? There's a white pumpkin here that he's sitting on. This is from Just Cross Stitch, one of the Ornament issues. I don't remember which one it is now. 2015. It's Just Cross Stitch 2015 Ornament issue. And this is the Ornament by Samplers Not Forgotten. It's called Crawl on a Pumpkin. So there's that. And then this is the one that I had actually started first when I was like, I should stitch on something, and I pulled something out and I put a few stitches in it. And I was like, eh. But this is Boo by Bent Creek. This was a really quick stitch. It's like 2 inches square. It's really tiny. So I finished that in October. And then, so that was just about the end of my cleanup list. I have one piece left on my cleanup list that I was hoping to finish this year. It didn't get done. It's going to get kicked into next year. I'll show you that later. So, and then my first new start of 2015 or 2018 was in October. I think it was October 15th or somewhere, October 5th, something in October was my first new start of 2018. Until then, everything I had worked on had been a whip. And I ordered it. It was a gift for a coworker, and I ordered it I chose it for her, and I ordered it from 123 Stitch, and it was Get Your Tail to the Beach by Needle Bling Designs. They have a lot of cute stuff. If you haven't seen their stuff, they have a lot of cute stuff. I put a few of their things on my wish list. But it says Get Your Tail to the Beach. It's a mermaid tail. Sorry about the plastic. And then I tackled my fear of finishing work this fall, you guys. Because I finished that. Because clearly I can't just hand her a piece of fabric. Gotta have it made into something. So I tackled my fear of finishing work. And I'm far from perfect at it. But, you know. So this is how I finished it for her. I found... Can't really see that well, huh? I found The wood was a picture frame that I found at Home Goods, and it had like a little clip on it for you to put your picture on. And uh, it was missing the stand. It was supposed to have a stand, and it was missing the stand. I got a discount on it because it was missing the stand. This is actually the back where the stand was supposed to be, and the clip was on the other side. I took off the clip and I mounted it on some uh, mat board. Thank you to Tara Stitches, Jessica, who appears to have left the stitching community, and I miss her a lot. But I mounted it and I put it on the frame, and I found some rope trim that I used for the trim and for the hanger. And so I gave that to my coworker. She has it in her office. And then the next thing I finished was my same friend with the bears. I had one of those cover kits that come with the British stitching magazines. It was the Fizzy Moon kit that came with issue 233, I think, of World of Cross Stitching. And I was like, oh, this is really cute. It was little. It's a Christmas card. It's Fizzy Moon. It's 2 bears. They're really cute. And I thought, this is simple. It's free. It's here. I have it. Let me go ahead and make this for him for Christmas. And his birthday is at the end of January, so if I miss Christmas, it's wintry, I'll give it to him for his birthday. Well, I made it for Christmas, so there's Fizzy Moon in the little card that they provided. Those kits are really cute. There's another one here that I got with the current issue in the United States. This Christmas Wishes kit, which is also a card, which is really cute too. I really like this one. This might go on my list for next year. So Fizzy Moon. And then, does somebody know what Fizzy Moon is? Is that just a character they created to license merchandise with? Or is there like a TV show associated with it, or a game? Or who is Fizzy Moon? I haven't been able to figure this out yet. And then my other coworker is just so sweet. She's the supervising attorney, and I go to her with all of my problem cases and all of my cases with bizarre court orders and bizarre financial issues and just all kinds of stuff. She's so sweet and she's so lovely, and she always works through the case with me, and she doesn't be like, "You're bothering me, Laurel, get out of here." So I made her, and I always show her my stitching. So I made her an ornament. Um, so uh, this is a Little House Needleworks ornament from the 2005 issue of the JCS ornament issues. And I put her name on it. And I tackled my finishing work, fear of finishing work again. And I made it into an ornament. It is so far from perfect, you guys. Oh my gosh. I was a little bit embarrassed to give it to her because it's not straight, and I didn't finish the cording off that well. And it's a mess, but she didn't seem to mind. She was happy with it, and she appreciated the thought that I did that for her. So I think she got a little choked up when I gave it to her. So, but I have officially FFO'd an ornament, and hopefully the next one will be better. I could use some pointers on cutting mat board. Oh my gosh. Like, and getting it straight and getting a clean edge. Because the X-Acto knife is not my friend. But it came out, it came out okay. It's not great, but it's not horrible. It's just my first one. So those were my 13 finishes for 2018. I had 13 finishes and 7 FFOs plus the half FFO'd squirrel. So that's not too bad. That's actually, I think that's the most finishes I've ever had in a year. So I was quite happy with that. I was kind of aiming for 15, but the last two projects that I wanted to finish, I didn't get finished. So, which brings me to those projects that I was working on and didn't get finished. I started out the year working on Teresa Winsler's Under the Evergreen. And when I first started on it, I had some of the um like the some of the legs of this and the rocker of the rocking horse done, and I think I had a little bit of the carpet done, but I didn't really have a lot done on it when I started out on it in January. So let's get that off of there. So I worked on it between January and June. I think I put it down in May or June, and I intended to go back to it, and I never got back to it. But I was able to finish. This is page 3 of the design. This is the bottom right corner. Actually, I think it's the bottom left corner. But so that's what I was able to finish, and I started a little bit on page 4, and I was kind of hoping to get through page 4 this year, and I never got back to it. So I'm gonna pick this up next year. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish it next year, but I'm gonna pick it up and at least finish page 4. I'm so tired of that carpet, though. I'll be glad when that carpet's done. But then page 1 and 2 are all Christmas tree, and I know I'm gonna get tired of that too. So, so there's Under the Evergreen. This is gonna be my Teresa Winsler piece again next year. And then my work project, yeah, my work project between July and Thanksgiving, July and the end of November, was Deepest Love by Mirabilia. And this is one of the ones that I was hoping to finish this year. I wanted to have this done before the clock strikes 2019. Not happening. I think I've gotten a little bit burned out on it because I was off this past week, I took off, and I'm taking off this coming week. I'm going back to work on January 7th, and I thought, oh great, I'm going to have all this time to stitch. And I think I've done like 50 stitches. I haven't hardly done any stitching since I've been off. But this is where she is. So I finished the top of her tail, and I finished her entire body, all her skin, her hair, and her seaweed, and I'm working on the non-white parts of her wrap. I haven't put any of the white yet, but I've been doing the blues and the greens on the edges of her wrap. So I still have quite a ways to go on her, but she's gotten to that point where she's starting to be pretty. For a long time, she looked sort of like a blob of skin, and she looked kind of deformed, like she was missing a chunk out of her body. But now she's starting to look pretty. So I've been happy with that. So this will go into the new year with me, and I'll finish her in 2019. And then this is a piece the last 2 years I worked on for Wine and Whips in June, because it's on and cloth, and it's not as bad as it was when I first started, but when I first started it back in the day, I did not like the fabric. It's itchy and it's fuzzy, and it's gotten better. It's okay. I don't love it, but it's manageable. But this is the Shabbat Table Topper by Dutch Treat. And so this year I worked on it for all of mine in whips. Last year I only worked on it for 2 weeks, and I worked on a different project for the other 2 weeks. But this year I gave it the whole month, and I was able to finish 3 squares. I finished the 2 menorah squares, and I finished 2 squares. I finished the top corner with the Star of David square and the top menorah square. Just squeezed out a third square, but I didn't. I could have squeezed out the other menorah square, but I didn't. So this year, this is going to be my work project when I go back to work, so I can finish these last 2 squares. And then there's just a lot of border. See all that blue down there? The blue borders on all of the squares, and the grapes in the middle, and there's a Karen over dyed thread that makes up the outside border. So this is going to be my work project, and I think I'm gonna work on it until the end of March, and then we'll see where it is. I might bring it home at the end of March, or I might leave it. But it's a bunch of straight lines. It's a bunch of border, so I can't imagine that it's going to take that long. But we'll see. And then the only other project from this year that I'm going to carry into the new year with me is this was the last project on my cleanup list that I didn't get it finished. I'm folding this so that I don't show you the whole chart. Is Spring Bunny Love by the Snowflower Diaries. I wanted to finish this one this year too, and it didn't happen. But if you guys remember, I think I did talk about this on a video earlier in the year, because I remember telling the story about the food delivery that took 3 hours. I had started this last year in 2017, and I had made a mistake, and I was having trouble with it because the mistake wasn't really that big of a deal. I could have worked around it, but I didn't really like that, and I was like, well, I hadn't decided what I was going to do about it. And so earlier this year I pulled it out, and I ended up frogging it. I ended up frogging the entire thing that I had done, which is most of the bunny's body, and redoing it. So here it is. Let's see if I have something I can put behind it to make it easier to see. Does that help? I don't know if that helps. But so I've got the bunnies mostly done, and the bottom leaves almost done. I gotta finish that. I gotta do the leaves at the top, and then I gotta do like the details on the bunnies, like their eyes and nose and the inside of their ears. So I'm doing this over one on a random scrap from my stash, which is probably 28 count. This was one of those pieces that I felt like it would be cute small. It would be cute at over one size, but it would be ridiculous at an over two size. Over two, it would be like 5x7. And I felt like it would be ridiculous at 5x7. So I'm stitching it over one. So this is the last of my cleanup projects. And I'm going to try to finish it this year. This might become a work project at some point in the spring. Maybe for Wine and Whips. Who knows? So that's what I finished and what I worked on in 2018. And so let's talk about 2019. Let's talk about 2019. Let's jump back to 2016 and work our way towards 2019. So in 2016, Melanie at the Soulful Stitcher who I think she created a new FlossTube channel. She may have a new name, but she was the Soulful Stitcher on her previous one. I'm not sure if she changed that or not. Melanie created the Euro whips, and I had 40 some odd whips, and I thought, oh, this is fabulous. And so she had a rule about how many you had to have, and the goal was to finish half of them or more, and all this stuff. And I know I've talked about it during that I got very frustrated with it because all my whips were at the beginning, and I wasn't moving very fast. I think I chose 12 or 13 to start, and I only finished 5 of them. And I was very frustrated with it. Maybe I had 15 to start, but I was very frustrated that I only finished 5. Um, because I remember doing a rant about it on here, kind of about, other people have already finished half of theirs, but, some of them don't work and all this stuff. But I was very frustrated, and the Euro whips, I found it to be exhausting. And when it was over, I was like, I'm not doing that again. And I didn't. I did not do Euro whips for 2018. I didn't want to have as many pieces as she was requiring. And I had some other things that I wanted to do. I wanted to clean up these other projects, which would have worked with the Euro whips, but I didn't want to have to add more pieces that I wasn't going to get to. So I didn't participate in the Euro whips. And then, but I went into 2018 with like this list of pieces that this is what I'm going to work on this year. And I did. So for 2019, I'm thinking I'm tired of going in with all of these plans and having a list and already deciding in January, this is what I'm going to stitch on this year. And everything else kind of gets put off. And I'm like, I'm kind of tired of this. I'm tired of making a goal, setting a goal and thinking, well, when I finish that goal, then I can do such and such. But then when I get to the goal, I've already made more goals. And I'm like, I just want to get to the point where I'm like, I finished my goal and now the deck is clear and I can decide what I'm going to work on. So I didn't really want to make any plans for 2019. And that's why I was trying to finish those other 2 projects. I was trying to go into 2019 with only Shabbat Table Topper and Under the Evergreen. And it didn't quite happen that way. I still have Deepest Love. I still have Spring Bunny Love. So, but that's okay. So I've come up with a list of possibilities for 2019 for whips that I'm going to add in or for new starts. And some of them are stronger contenders than others. Some of them, when I think about 2019, I'm like, yeah, I really want to get to that piece. And some of them I think, yeah, it would be nice if I got to that, but I would rather do this other piece. So I do kind of have an idea of what I want to do, but I haven't really committed to anything because I'm trying to leave some room for my whims. So here are some of the possibilities for 2019. I have the 4 that I'm going in with, which I'm hoping to finish 3 of them. I'm not sure that I'm going to get Under the Evergreen finished. And I'm about to sneeze. But I'm not sure that I'm going to get Under the Evergreen finished. Excuse me. But the other 3, I hope to finish. And then, oops, let me move some of those out of the way here. I meant to look for the picture of this. I didn't bring it. But one of the ones that I think I'm going to pull out for 2019 is The I didn't bring the picture. Is His Eye is on the Sparrow by Heartstring Samplery, and I'm sure you've seen it. It's all over. It's a big sampler. It has Adam and Eve at the bottom. It says his eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. And it has a house like in the middle. It's got a bunch of critters, birds, trees, animals, dogs, whatever. And I started this back in 2015. I started on Christmas Day of 2015. And I started it, it's on doubloon fabric from Pictureless Plus. Here's the second fact. 28 count doubloon Lugana from Pictureless Plus. And I started it, let me get the needle out of here so I can unfold it. I started it over one. And this little tree in the center, that's all I've done. And the tree's not even done. That's just the top. And then I was like, I don't really know that I want to do this over one. I might restart it. I might do it over two. Because when I decided to do it over one, it was mostly a financial decision. I didn't have the money to buy the fabric for over two. So I decided to do it over one just because the fabric was cheaper. I did buy the fabric to do it over two. And now I'm thinking I might just go ahead and do it as over one. I don't know. But I'm going to try to pull that out for 2019. I don't know if I'm going to finish it, but I'm going to try to do at least a couple of pages on it. I don't remember how many pages are on it. I think there might be 16 pages. I don't remember. But I'm going to try to make some good progress on that. I've been kind of itching to do a sampler, and I have all these samplers in the queue, but this one's a whip, so I'm going to try to get to that one first. And then we have my one and only Hade whip. Even though I keep buying Hades every time they have a sale, or often when they have a sale, I'll buy one or two or three. But I only have one whip. And it is the Freebie Flower Bride that's now retired by Linda So. It's a Story Keep Flower Bride. And this is another one. I'd like to finish it in 2019, but I'm going to stop short of that. And I'm going to start with, let's just like get a page finish. Because it has all of about 230 something stitches in it. It doesn't have a lot of stitches in it. I haven't gotten very far on it. So I'm going to try to at least get like a page finish or something on that. That's my only Hade whip, and that's where I am, 200 and something stitches. And I have a bunch of others that I would like to start. I'll show you one coming up here in the possibilities. But I feel like you have one, you haven't hardly done anything on it, so you really don't need to start another. And I really don't need to buy another. It hasn't stopped me, but and then I have this. This is something of a problem, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do about it, or if I'm just going to deal with it. This is Bagatelle by Long Dog. Love it, love it, love it. Love the unicorns. Love it, love it, love it. And you might remember, I think it was also in 2015. I think it was on the summer solstice day, the longest day of the year. I don't know what that was. I don't know why I have that. I'm sure it's used for something. Um, back, back in 2015, the group Cross Stitch and Discuss, which doesn't exist anymore, um, was having like a longest day sale, and it was a whip-a-thon, start-a-thon, and a lot of people were trying to work on as many whips as they could during the day. And I thought, oh, this would be fun. I had the day off. It happened to be my day off. And I thought, oh, this will be fun. And so I started I had an alphabetical list of my whips, and I started at the top. And I worked on Amaryllis and Bloom, which I've since finished. And then I pulled out Bagatelle, and I worked on it for like 5 or 10 minutes. I was like, no. And the problem with this, I'll show you what I have. It's not a lot. Here's what I have of Bagatelle. And the problem is that I don't like the fabric. And I think is it Joblin? What is it? I don't know what the fabric is, but it's slippery. And I don't like it. And I think it's the called for fabric. I don't want to dig through this looking for it, but if it was the first page, I would look. But um, it's, I don't know. I don't like the fabric. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. But this is on the possibilities for 2019. And as you can see, I'm not very far. This is the story of my life. So I have a long way to go on this. So long, in fact, that the choice of fabric, not liking the fabric might be a big deal. So stay tuned on that. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Okay, so I have some other smaller whips. I should have pulled them out. I didn't. I have an EGA whip for Margaret Bendig that I started on the day of the EGA event, and I haven't touched since. And this is like the 4th year that I said I'm going to do that this year. I had chosen it as one of the... Excuse me for a second. I might have to get up and answer the door in a minute. But, and I don't have any editing software, so you're going to have to live with it. The Margaret Bendig one is one I had chosen for the Euro Whips in 2016 and 17, and I never got to. I said I was going to do it in 2018. I didn't touch it, so I might try to get to it for 2019. It's a necessary trio. It's a needle book and a fob and a scissor fob and I think it's a pin cushion or something. I don't know what the item is. And then I have a kimono one, and I have I have one of the ones by Heritage Stitchcraft, the sepia tone ones, one of shoes. I might get to that. I might make that a work project. So I have some other smaller pieces that I might pull out of my whip pile. And then I have some, I've got my whips down from 41 or whatever it was that 41, 43, something that I started 2018 with, and I'm down to 28. So I'm like, maybe I'll put some new starts in here because I've been kind of restricting the new starts. They've all been really small things like ornaments. I haven't started a chatelaine. I haven't started a Hade. I haven't started a Mirabilia. The last Mirabilia I started Nora Corbett was in 2013 when I started Bluebell. So I might put in some larger starts. Possibilities. This is probably the most likely of the possibilities. 3 Things by Moira Blackburn. And it says, 3 things there are that will never come back. The arrow shot forth on its destined track. the appointed hour that could not wait, and the hopeful word that was spoken too late. And this was the stitch along the was it the small sampler or the large sampler? This was a large sampler stitch along for Sample World in 2017 or 18, 2017. And I bought it, but I haven't started it, haven't kitted it, haven't done anything with it. So I'm going to try to get to this in 2018. This one here, this is a kit that I bought years and years ago. The date on it is 1995. This is Psalm 100 by Sandy Orton. And it says, I'm going to have to answer the door. Just a second. Thank you so much. You too. All right. Sorry about that, but grocery delivery is a wonderful thing when you don't have a car. It's also a wonderful thing when you need extra money. If you have a car and you want to deliver groceries or food, like fast food, wonderful side gig if you need money. Not for me because I don't have a car, but a lot of people do it when they're trying to get out of debt. So as I was saying, this is Psalm 100. Can't really see it very well because of the plastic. It says, "Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him and bless his name." And I haven't kit form. The chart is available as a PDF on the Cool Design Studio website. This is one that I've been wanting to get to for a long time. And I think this might be my New Year, New Start. I probably won't be on January 1st. January 1st is not a good stitching day for me. January 1st is my brother's birthday. So I always end up going to my mom's, celebrating my brother's birthday. My brother is turning 40 this year. So probably not on January 1st, but sometime during January or during 2018 or something. This is on the list of new starts. And then I have, here's my Haid that I might start. This is Ornament Walk as One. I just love this design. The bears and the animals and the Santa, the Father Winter and the blues and the snow, and I just love it. So they have this in all kinds. I think they have this in every size that they do. I don't know if they have a QS of it, but they have a regular. I think they have a mini. I think they have a max color. They have a stocking. But for now, I went with the ornament. So this is Walk as One by Jody Bergsma. And if I start a Haid, it might be this one. And I didn't bring it, but I'm also thinking about Minnie Alice and Snow White by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. And then the last possibility I'm going to show here, because I bought it on sale. Crazy Annie had it on sale, and I bought it from her, is Farmhouse Christmas. I bought the charts and the fabric from her. Did not buy the threads. Don't have the threads. But I might try to do one of these a month. I'm not generally very good at those kinds of things. I don't participate in a lot of the sales. A lot of them aren't really my thing, and I wouldn't really stitch them. Some of them I do really like, but I want to see them before I buy them, and I'm not liable to keep up with them, so I don't buy a lot of them. Um, but I might see if I can do that farmhouse Christmas one a month. The other thing, I don't have it because it's barely been available and I haven't been able to buy it yet, and I haven't been able to find the threads for it, is ink circles, Dog's Declaration. Oh my gosh, you guys, have you seen this? It is so cute. It's in a sampler style, similar to His Eyes on the Sparrow, and it says life, liberty, and the pursuit of squirrels. Because these are the things that make dogs happy. These are the things, the inalienable rights of dogs. These are the things that make them happy. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of squirrels. So it is so cute. It's got squirrels, and it's got acorns, and it's got dogs, and it's got flowers, and it's got trees, and it's got a little dog house at the bottom. It's missing a fire hydrant. I didn't see a fire hydrant on it, but it is so cute. And uh, it's stitched in Valdani threads, and I'm having trouble finding a source for the Valdani threads. Um, Apparently, there's a limited number of retailers that carry the embroidery floss. I don't know. I'm having trouble finding them. So, if you know where you can get them, well, I have seen some retailers have it. 123 Stitch has it. It seems like they have a limited number of them, and they're mostly available in the packs. Um, so I don't know. I might be able to get them all from 123 Stitch. Crazy Annie gave me the floss list, so I'm I'm trying to find a source for the threads, but I think I'm gonna try to get to that in 2018 too. I might sampler myself out though between His Eyes on the Sparrow, Three Things, and Dog's Declaration. But that Dog's Declaration chart is so cute. Um, so that's 2018. That's the plans and possibilities for 2019. Life updates. I don't really have any. I still have the same job. I've done some interviewing for the paralegal job, haven't been picked up. Some of the interviews haven't really gone that well. Um, I'm not really very good at this interviewing thing. Um, and everything else is pretty much the same. I don't know. I can't think of anything huge that's changed or happened, or you know. I stay in contact with my brothers on the East Coast, and uh, my middle brother had a relationship in California, so he was coming out here, and I got to see him. That relationship broke up, and I'm like, you need a new one. I didn't go to New York this year. I went to Las Vegas for a couple of days instead because I didn't want to spend the money to go to New York. But with the amount of shopping I did in Vegas and the amount of money I spent shopping, I probably could have gone to New York twice. I spent a lot of money in Vegas. So it didn't really work out on the money, but um, for 2019, I don't know if I'm gonna make it to New York in 2019. If you haven't heard, Joe at Silks for You and Carol Tinson at Heirloom Embroideries are putting on a cruise that goes from Galveston and it goes to some port in Mexico. I don't know what the port is. I don't remember. But it goes to Jamaica. It goes to Grand Cayman in September. And I'm kind of considering doing that. I haven't said yes. I haven't said no. Kind of considering it. I'm kind of in the market for a roommate because I might be one of the few people that isn't bringing somebody with them. Because I don't know anybody who has the money to go, who would want to go and has the money. So, um, I might do that because that sounds like fun. And Carol is designing a class for the cruise. Sounds like a lot of fun. So, uh, I don't know. Um, it's been almost an hour. That's what happens when I don't do this for 6 months. I have some stash that I haven't shown, but I bought some Sona stitch charts. I bought some scissors. I'm developing this thing for printed scissors, or pattern scissors. Somebody on the group showed the cutest pair of, what was it? Was it a penguin or a snowman or something? It was the cutest pair of scissors she'd gotten for Christmas, and I found them on Etsy. Um, I got finally. I don't know if y'all remember, but I ordered from Stitching Bits and Bobs back in April. And finally in October, I think in October, I finally emailed her and said, "Can you please send the part of my order that you have? Because it's been 6 months. This is getting ridiculous. Can you please send what you have?" So she sent me, I had ordered Long Dog's Cardinal Points, which I assumed is what she was waiting for. Um, so I was surprised when she sent me that, and she sent me, I had ordered something else. I don't remember what the second thing was. But it turns out what she was waiting for was the Debbie Mum Mill Hill kit that I had ordered. Um, I was surprised. I thought she was waiting for the Cardinal Points sampler. But I have Cardinal Points, and I have whatever else it was that I got. I don't know. It was one of those things to justify the shipping. Um, Still don't have the Debbie Mum one. And then I ordered from ABC Stitch over the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and that one just shipped. I kitted up Waxing Moon Search the Sky. It says never be too grown up to search the sky on Christmas Eve. And I also ordered a paper Hade chart that had been discontinued on the website, or had been retired on the website. Susan Rios Morning Light. And they're shipping the Waxing Moon stuff. They don't have the Hade chart yet. So, got more stash coming. 2019, I did not participate in Stitch from Stash for the second half of the year. Haven't decided if I'm going to participate in 2019. Haven't decided what I'm going to do about stash purchases in 2019. So, there's a lot of stitching stuff that we'll just have to wait and see what happens. And if I can get some editing software, which I don't currently have, maybe I'll even make videos in 2019. So I think I've been talking long enough. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being here. I don't watch as much FlossTube as I used to. I do watch some, a little bit. But I hope you all have a wonderful new year and safe, and don't drive drunk, all that kind of stuff. And I hope you have a wonderful 2019 personally and stitching wise. And hopefully I will see you in 2019. And see you later, everyone. Bye.